It is your Classic Metal Show right here on theclassicmetalshow.com. The name of that tune, Dime Store Profit. The name of the band, Vicious Rumors, one of my favorites of all time. And on the phone right now, the guitar player from the mighty Vicious Rumors, the one and only Geoff Thorpe. Geoff, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thanks for having me on the Classic Metal Show. It's an honor to be here.
Sure, man. Well, dude, I gotta say, Electric Punishment, a very excellent album, definitely heavy in parts, definitely different in parts, man. Might be the biggest curveball you've thrown as a band in quite a while, no?
I would definitely agree with that. I think this is our most diverse album since Word of Mouth in 1994. We had an enormous success with 2011's Razorback Killers.
Sure.
And it was really a big hit album for us and saw us on the road for 8 months, and it was just an incredible ride. And so there was definitely a lot of pressure to make a follow-up to that album. And, we've never really been the type of band that just kind of repeat ourselves over and over again. So I just really wanted to come for, a fresh perspective. And I wrote a lot of different songs from the writing process went from January 2012 to November when we started the record. So, I just wanted to take you on a different ride this time. And, I think it's a classic. It has classic elements of Vicious Rumors. It has some stuff we've never done before. There's a ballad. There's an atmospheric song. There's anthems. There's a Kiss cover. So there's a lot to listen to. And I'm really proud of it. I think it's some of our best work.
Sure. Now, Brian Allen returns with this record for his second studio record, third overall. How has the band changed with him in the mix, compared to the various previous things that you've done with different vocalists?
Well, it's been great to work with someone for a longer duration and to sort of get a bit of a chemistry going. Brian's a real talented singer, and we saw a lot of potential in him right when we first met him, and he's grown so much since then through all the shows and all the touring. And so it's been good to find someone that that was fitting the bill and doing a good job. He's also a single father, so it's a little bit harder for him. It's even more of a challenge for him to meet some of our scheduling requirements because he has a family. But, I'll tell you, man, the one thing I've learned in 33 years of heavy metal and Vicious Rumors is that if there's one thing you can count on, it's for things to change.
Sure.
So, it's just all about how you roll with those changes. But right now we're experiencing a great positive. It's just like you said, in the last 3 years, we put out 3 albums in 3 years.
Right.
So it's been an incredible time of power and persistence and momentum. And that's really, if there's been one downfall in our career, it's just that, life gets in the way sometimes. And that's when it breaks up the momentum, that's what really slows down a band. But I'll tell you what, I've got a plan that I started 3 years ago, and it's 6 albums in 6 years.
Okay, wow.
And that's my goal. I'm halfway through it.
Sure, definitely.
So, and in those 3 years, we've seen the band move up the bill on festivals, have our attendance get bigger in our shows, more shows, more action. So it's about keeping the ball rolling, brother.
Sure, definitely. Now, one of the, as I said at the beginning, this is definitely the most diverse record you guys have done, at least that I hear. And I point specifically to 2 songs on the record, Together We Unite and Eternally, which are as far out in left field for Vicious Rumors as anything I think you've ever done. What prompted you guys to do, to go and do basically full-out ballads this time? I know they're a little heavier than ballads, but they're, in Vicious Rumors type of music, they're as close to ballads as you get.
Well, the way that I looked at it, my friend, is that, this is our 11th studio album.
Right.
and I just wanted to show some growth, take some, I feel that Vicious Rumors is very competent at what we do. We have our style, we have our niche, and the great thing about it for me personally is that it's not something that's pigeonholed into one particular thing. Like Vicious Rumors is one of those bands that can do speed metal, a ballad, an atmospheric song. We can do all these different types of things and still, I feel, make them sound cohesive together. I mean,
sure.
It's true that those songs are quite different from anything we've done in the past, but I think when you listen to the album Electric Punishment, I don't feel like that they stick out like sore thumbs or something. I just feel like they just take you to a different place. And, like I said, man, this is our 11th album. We wanted to, give you something else to listen to.
Sure.
And in a way, it was taking a big chance because we had so much success on the last album. The last album was pretty much just in your face from the word go to the last note on the record, And on this one, even though, like Eternally is a very dark song. I mean, it comes in as this atmospheric kind of feeling, but it's got a very dark, kind of creepy kind of sound to it. And Together We Unite is actually my favorite song on the record, just because that song kind of just wrote itself, and it came together so naturally and so quickly, and the lyrics are just really heartfelt, man. I mean, the fans have allowed me and the band to live our dream for 33 plus years, man.
Sure.
And I wanted to thank them for it.
Absolutely. And I wasn't trying to say that these songs sound odd in the mix either. I mean, it's just, I think it's almost a progression specifically with Brian's vocals too. And you probably don't even think about it when you write it. It just is, how it develops. Brian is not a soaring vocalist like you've had in the past. I mean, there's no soaring, like in Don't Wait for Me or Welcome to the Ball and stuff like that. It's like a wah! There's none of that really going on with him. He's a more aggressive vocalist. So to do ballad type stuff, I mean, it definitely fits, but it's just a curveball. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I do the vocals on Eternally.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I did all the vocals on Eternally. I did the vocals on the Kiss cover. I sang the Kiss song.
Okay.
And on Together We Unite is a duet with Brian doing the high part and me doing the low part. So I'm singing a lot more in the band these days, and Brian and I are doing a lot of vocals together.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like the establishing sort of a little bit of a new sound for Vicious Rumors. But I've been singing the whole time anyway. And
sure.
My voice gets a little stronger each year, and I really appreciate you saying that. But yeah, those are the songs that I did the vocals on.
Very cool. Now, Geoff, at this point, after so many releases and, so many years, really, you still come up with a lot of really unique riffs, and specifically your leads, like in the solos and whatnot. The leads are just, they're always different. It's not, you never hear a song from you guys and go, oh yeah, I heard that back on, this album or whatever, At this point, do you write your riffs and leads ahead of time, or do you just sort of play them in the studio and try and recapture them, or how exactly do you come across so many new and unique leads and riffs?
Wow, thank you so much. That's just an incredible compliment to give me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
I just play from the heart, brother. I figured out quite a few years back that if I just stay true to what I've always loved and do what I feel like I know feels right, then it's going to work. And so I just trust myself to, when I do a lot of songwriting, I have my digital recorder and I just come up with something that I like, I put it down, and then I kind of move on. Every now and then a song comes to me and I'll just write the whole thing. And that's what happened with Together We Unite. It just kind of happened. The riff came in, the lyrics came in, and it was literally like in 10 minutes the song is done.
Sure.
And I love it when that happens. that is certainly not the case most of the time.
Right.
But you know, I just, man, I love the music and I love the action, and I feel so blessed and lucky to have a 33-plus year career traveling the world and playing music and making these records and going on tour. And so it's just passion and inspiration and being true to yourself, man. A little belief in yourself can go a long way.
Sure. Now, Geoff, I'll admit right up front, I am not a guitar player, so I don't know a whole lot about the equipment side of it, but we do have a lot of guitar players that listen to the show, and they constantly make reference to guitar sounds being a product of both pickups and pedals. And I'm curious if you feel that way, or if you're one of those guys that actually will go out there and try, I don't know, Astronomy pedals or Strigal pickups or whatever, you know, the newer age stuff to develop your sound.
Well, I am a firm believer that most of a guitar player's sound is in their hands.
Okay.
I feel that I can play. You could set up 5 or 6 different guitar players' amps and pedals, and they could all be different amps and different pedals and different pickups. But if I grab a guitar, they could even be different guitars. But if I go and play on each one of them, it's going to sound like me, because most of my sound is in my hands. And that's the way I feel about it.
Sure, definitely.
I definitely, it's great to have the right gear, though. That by all means, like, you know, having a great sounding amp and, you know, the right delays you want and things like that. Very, very important. But to me, like, you know, when Eddie Van Halen picks up a guitar and does Eruption, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter what amp or pedal or pickup it's on. He's going to make it. You recognize it because it's him playing and it's coming right from his hands.
Sure, definitely. Now, Geoff, why do you think, and I'm going way old school here, but why do you think it was that, especially when you had, you know, the big record label and the, you know, the two records, you know, obviously the Don't Wait for Me album and then Welcome to the Ball, you know, were mammoth sounding for the time. I mean, they just had such a huge sound, and it seemed like you guys had the right pieces in place, and you just never broke through the way some of your contemporaries at that time did. What do you think it was that kept Vicious Rumors from taking that next step into, you know, into more mainstream success?
I think it was my Tony Iommi aftershave. I knew I should have got the Geezer Butler version. You know?
Right.
God, I got to tell you. Well, you know, it's funny, you know, we got signed to Atlantic right at the end of the 80s. So
right.
I'll tell you what, I think we were maybe just a few years late, you know, because our stuff dropped in 90 and 91.
Right.
And right when we were coming out was really the beginning of the changing of the guard to the whole Seattle sound.
Right.
And Nirvana and things like that. And there was a real changing of the guard where, like, all of a sudden it wasn't, you know, like it was like the anti-image and, you know, cheap equipment. And, you know, we've always been like, man, we want to look good, we want to have the best gear, we want to have great tone, you know.
Right.
we wanted to put on a great show. I've always been inspired by, like, arena acts and, you know, these legendary big bands, and I always saw Vicious Rumors being like that. You know, I could sit here and try to second guess it, but as close as the explanation as I think we came on the metal scene maybe just a hair late in our major label debut on Atlantic. But I got to tell you, man, I have no regrets.
Sure.
I mean, Jimi Hendrix, immortalized forever. His career was 4 years long from beginning to end.
Right.
And, you know, I've been doing this 33-plus years, traveled the world so many times. I have dear friends all over the world in different countries, favorite restaurants in Barcelona and Eindhoven, Holland, and, you know,
right.
I mean, I've all that without having to join the army. So, I mean, you know, I got no regrets, and we're still going strong as ever. I mean, I'll tell you, it's one thing to be in a heavy metal band in your teens or early 20s. Anybody can do that. But when you're still in a heavy metal band in your early 50s, now that's just degenerate.
Right. Definitely, man.
And I love it.
Hell yeah.
And Larry Howell and I and Thane Rasmussen, the three of us in the band, we're all, going to be 52 this year.
Okay.
And it's just incredible, man. We're just like, and we just recorded D Block, the fastest song we've ever done. And we're not slowing down, man. I mean, we're lifers. This is who we are and what we do, and we'll be doing it till the day we die.
Sure. And like you said, you're definitely not slowing down. I'll point to a song like Thirst for the Kill. That's as traditional and fast as anything that you guys do, man. It's just Electric Punishment as a record. I know we've been talking about a lot of other stuff, but Electric Punishment as a record is very, very much a powerful, thrashy type metal record, man. It's what you would want from a metal band. You know what I mean?
Thanks so much, man. I'm really proud of the way it came out. Juan Ortiaga and I have been doing the production on the last four Vicious Rumors albums.
Okay.
From Warball, Razorback Killers, Live You to Death, and now Electric Punishment. And he is just a master in the studio, and I have a very clear communication with him. I mean, I don't even have to say anything, and he can make it sound like 90% the way I want it. And then I can just come in and do my tweaks and get it, a few things here and there. But we work together very well. He's an amazing producer locally. And so it's just, I feel like the sound just keeps getting better on the last few records. And I feel Electric Punishment is our best sounding album. I mean, I just think it's so big and warm and wet. It's
Absolutely.
Like being in a big pool of warm water.
Sure. Now, what are the touring plans this year? You got any plans set up yet, or is that all getting worked out now, or what?
I got plans. Got big plans, buddy. We're starting a big tour in Europe, May 3rd in Spain. We're playing 26 shows from May 3rd to June 1st.
Wow.
All over Europe, including some festivals with Uriah Heep and Rage, and it's going to be a great tour. Then we go back to Europe again in July 24th to August 10th.
Okay.
And that's for festivals, the Alcatraz Festival with Anthrax, Exodus, and Death Angel,
wow.
Vicious Rumors. And we'll also be doing the Headbangers Open Air with Metal Church and Overkill and Vicious Rumors. It's going to be great.
Sure.
And Stonehenge Festival, a bunch of other festivals in the summer. And I'm very pleased to announce on the Classic Metal Show that Vicious Rumors will be headlining a U.S. tour
awesome.
With Leather Wolf and Seven Witches.
No
That's
kidding.
A power metal package, a total underground power metal package that we're getting a lot of excitement around. We've already got about 15 confirmed shows.
Okay.
It starts September 18th to about October 20th, and it looks like by the time it's done, it should be 25 to 30 shows all around the U.S. and Canada.
Okay, excellent.
So we got about 70 shows scheduled for this year. And, the album hasn't come out yet, but it's looking like another monster year for Vicious Rumors. And so far, the reviews of Electric Punishment have just been outrageous. And I've been doing press for 3 weeks now, and it's been really exciting to talk to so many enthusiastic people, like you, Chris.
Sure.
And I really appreciate all the support. So many years in the making, and I'll tell you, I just want to hope everybody comes out to the shows and supports Vicious Rumors, Leather Wolf, and Seven Witches here in the States, and we're going to have a great tour. It's long overdue.
Absolutely, man. Well, as we said, the new album is called Electric Punishment. It is it out or is it on the way out?
It'll be out in Europe April 27th April 29th, and it comes out in the United States on May 7th.
Okay, excellent. So people, where can people look to either get more information on the record or contact you or pre-order or all that stuff?
Yeah, you can pre-order the album at viciousrumors.com. You can pre-order it on Vicious Rumors Facebook. You can also pre-order it on the SPV record company website. Amazon is one of the big carriers of it, and hopefully, I always like to say, support your local mom and pop stores if there's any left.
Right, sure. And that's harder and harder to find these days.
I'll tell you, man. But, you know, I'll tell you, we've been in the underground a long time, and we're coming out blazing, man. 70 shows this year, and bring on the punishment, man. Turn it up and play it loud.
Sure, definitely. Well, Geoff, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a tune to close the interview with. Why don't you pick something from the new record and maybe tell people a little story about it?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this song is going to be the first video for the album, and you can see that on YouTube and all over worldwide coming up in about 2 weeks. And it's the title, the intro. It's the intro song on the record, a very powerful, thrashing little number called I Am the Gun.
All right, well, let's check it out right now. It is brand new Vicious Rumors. It is